It's Today in Putnam County with Shan, Stout.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Today in Putnam County. And as you can see, I'm not Mayor Randy Porter. For those of you that may have missed our December handoff episode, we said goodbye to Mayor Porter, but not permanently because he is up for re-election. And so per the guidelines, we have to have him set aside and while he's campaigning, have someone else take the helm. And so Mayor Porter graciously asked if the Visitors Bureau would like to take over the podcast while he is up for re-election. So we wish him the best. It was a lot of fun interviewing him in the last episode. So if you guys look that up, you're going to hear a lot of facts about the mayor that even I didn't know. It was a fascinating journey from his beginning career until now. And I enjoy, he's not only humble, but he has kind of some behind the scenes stuff going on there that origin story that prepared him for all of the things we went through with the tornado and 2020 and all that our community across Putnam County had to endure for the struggles. We had the right mayor in place for that. And so we appreciated getting a chance to have the mayor tell his story. But now we want you to join us and hang with us because it's going to be a fun time here as my co-host, Tessa Davis. I'm Shan Stout. I am our Executive Director of Tourism for the Cookeville Putnam County Visitors Bureau. And we also manage the convention center here in town. But we want to talk about all things Putnam County. And I have a special guest with us today, the lovely Billie Davis. For those of you who may not know Billie, Billie is the Upper Cumberland Tourism Association Director. Now, Billie, it has been a fantastic 2025 for the Upper Cumberland, and a very exciting new year is coming. So let's first talk about Small Town Tennessee Christmas, because you used a very special project to launch a new brand campaign for the Upper Cumberland. So we've always known ourselves as the Upper Cumberland. So you went through a whole process to decide how to reimagine what the Upper Cumberland is. Tell us a little bit about that origin story and how it turned into Small Town Tennessee Christmas.
Yeah, so we have so much to offer here in the Upper Cumberland. And a lot of that was really understanding what that was and how we were going to present it to everyone. So we went through a branding process with a branding firm, and we literally went to each of our communities and we asked the locals what this area was. We asked the visitors what it was. We did a lot of research on it, and we are the Upper Cumberland, but we're Tennessee's Upper Cumberland. So we define ourselves as that, but it's more that we got ourselves a personality. So we're outdoor recreation, we're small town charm, we're waterfalls, we're lakes. So we have this whole idea now of who we are, which I think most of us maybe knew that, but we all are aware of it now. So we took that, and we're just moving forward with how to invite people in to experience what we experience as locals, and just to see everything that we have to offer, because it's a lot.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
Now let's go back to the basics. Putnam County has had a lot of newcomers move to the area from out of state. And we know that. Over the past 5 years, we have seen an influx of people that are new to the area. So the term Upper Cumberland may not mean something to them. They've heard it, they've seen it, but they may not understand how many counties are in the Upper Cumberland. And when you talk about the collective we, you're talking about all the chambers and CVBs across all these counties.
Yeah, so we have 14 counties in the Upper Cumberland. And new data that we're looking at, and I think it's also impactful to say it that way, because 14 counties seems like a lot, but it's over 5,000 square miles of waterfalls, lakes, outdoor recreation, small towns, just community. It's a lot in a small confined area that you can really be in all of these places within about an hour and a half drive of each other. So it's a lot in a confined space. It's great.
Okay, so your job is to take those 14 counties and market them as a unit.
Yes.
So you are trying to drive, fly-in markets, drive-in markets from other states and even internationally to visit the Upper Cumberland.
Yeah.
And you had this really smart idea early, I think it was maybe in the summer, where you were like, we're going to rebrand. How do we launch it? And you came up with Christmas as your marketing. You got Santa on board. So, and everybody loves the holidays.
Yeah.
And I know that ad campaign, they were saying, you guys have something in common. All 14 counties, you do Christmas really well.
Yes.
So then what happened?
Oh my goodness. Well, what happened is our community is amazing, and our business owners, our partners are incredible. So we took our 14 counties and we selected a few that just do it extremely well because we put it together very quickly.
Very quickly.
Very, very quickly. So there wasn't a lot of time for everyone to say, oh, I'm ready to jump in 100%. And we want to always give 100% when we do something. So we took a few of our counties, 6 is what we did for this year, and a few featured events in some of the other counties. And we put together the Small Town Tennessee Christmas. And then out of that came the 12 Days of Christmas giveaway, which was unexpected and
On the news.
it was on the news. Yes, it was. It was on the news, and we gave away 12 incredible gifts. We just wrapped that final gift giveaway up, but we were talking like 2-night stays at some of our lodging. I think over 6 of those gifts were overnight stays, 2-night stays, which was incredible. And the recipients have been so excited. They're like, is this for real? I mean, because it's so
The gifts
generous.
are very nice. They're very
Yes,
nice.
they are.
It's so, and our partners were so generous. But the idea is to bring people in and show them what we have, because when you get here, you won't want to leave. You will want to come back, and you'll be like, wow, I had no idea. Even our community is that way. I had no idea we had this. I had no idea this was just right up the road. So that's my job, is to make sure that we take those 14 counties and we say, visit, but expand, explore.
Well, you've done a great job. The campaign was beautiful through the holidays. For those of you that may have missed it, be sure to catch it next year because it is coming back.
Absolutely.
Now, we've talked about the holidays. We've wrapped it up.
Yeah.
The New Year's are upon us. So many great things going on. So we're going to pivot to the left just for a moment. Tessa, you've been working on a project with the Visitors Bureau, and it's really been a lofty goal. We started out last year as our New Year's resolution to do a project called Waterfalls for All. We noticed that in our area, accessibility was a big deal. We had 5 of the most accessible waterfalls in the United States. I mean, so wonderful. That is something that we didn't realize we weren't really marketing properly because our questions from visitors were all about access.
Yes.
Also, they are pet friendly. Not all state parks are pet friendly. We have pet friendly state parks and trails that are all different levels of access. Some are paved trails that you can walk straight on. Some are you can drive up to the overlook. Some you're going to have to trek uphill, trek downhill. There's rocks involved, there's stairs involved. They're all different, but those questions of access. And so you helped work with not only the state parks, but you were working with all the state of Tennessee Department of Tourist Development, and also all your community partners to create first a map. Right? So let's talk about that project, and then it's led to something pretty impressive.
Yeah, I've been to our waterfalls numerous times, but I've never thought about it in that mindset of the accessibility. So whenever we talked about doing this, that is one of our main questions that are asked. Can I bring my mother who has had knee surgery? Can I bring my kids? Can I bring my dog? So we've made it as easy to process as possible with this map. It has all of our waterfalls, and we even came up with a scale of the level of difficulty. So we have a little hiker, so if it's hikeable, we have a dog that's pet friendly. We have the handicap placard if it's handicap accessible, and that is available in a hard copy that you can pick up at our visitor centers. And you can even download it from our website at waterfallsforall.com, so you have that with you at all times, so you're ready to hit the trails anywhere.
Okay, so these maps are available in multiple locations, including both of our welcome centers here in Putnam County. But the state of Tennessee was so excited about this particular project. They not only gave grant dollars to help back it up so that it could be larger, you then turned around and single-handedly created a website for waterfallsforall.com. Bless your heart. If anyone knows Tessa, she is like the hardest working person in tourism. Billie, you're really right there with her. So I'm in a room of very smart, hardworking women today, and I'm just trying to keep up. And Tessa, you built this beautiful website. It turned out fantastic. We're still adding things to it every day. And then we decided, you know what, we're not done yet. Let's film a documentary. And it's both of our first documentaries that neither of us have been in that field of work before. And I'm going to say to my side of what has been moving about filming the documentary, because now it's what they call in the can. It's being produced and put together. Excited to see it. But we had to take one of our film days and bring in this incredible group of individuals that had every level of special needs, and they were extraordinary. I mean, it was a hard film day because I didn't cry out of sadness. I cried out of extreme admiration for how they were so strong and such overcomers. Their attitudes were beautiful. I mean, I didn't even understand when we started the accessibility journey that, you know, the blind community would benefit from access to these trails, because you would think, I didn't mean to be a novice about it and be small-minded, but I thought, well, if you cannot see, how can you appreciate a waterfall? Why would you go? And then we had a blind individual, and she came, and I said, what is your experience when you come here? And she said, oh, it's wonderful. She goes, I can hear the water. People can describe it to me, but the part she loved the most were the paved access trails. She said, I can navigate by myself because I'm not having to have rough terrain, and it's safe. And she said, the fencing is very important for me because I have a way to touch the rail and know how the terrain is going to navigate. And it really humbled me in a way that I have learned so much about this group of people, that they have so many challenges in our world that we don't have to think about. And our local businesses, when we come back, I'm going to talk about how our community rallied together behind access and the special needs community. And not only with this documentary, but in changing the way Putnam County does business. And so stay with us. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
We're back with Today in Putnam County with Shan Stout.
Welcome back to Today in Putnam County. I'm Shan Stout, your host, along with my co-host, Tessa Davis. We're so glad you've joined us today, and we have been talking with our wonderful special guest, Billie Davis. No relation. I know we got two Davises in the house today. I'm really partial to Davises, apparently. That's my thing. But Billie is the director of the Upper Cumberland Tourism Association. We've been talking about the rebrand of Tennessee's Upper Cumberland. And now our discussion, if you are just now joining us, we have been talking about accessibility across the Upper Cumberland and a special project called Waterfalls for All. We started out as an accessibility map project. It turned into a website project, and now we just wrapped up filming a documentary that is going to air across WCTE PBS stations and Tennessee PBS stations across the state. We're very excited. It's coming in 2026, so it is right now being produced. And we've been talking about our journey for that and the wonderful special needs community that we have here. So Tessa, it's been a great experience, and we have a very expansive special needs community. I've learned so much about what is available in special needs and where we still have work to do. So much work to do. So you reached out to our local businesses and said, hey, here are some things that you could commit to doing in 2026 to improve your business for the special needs community. So give us some examples and tell me about how the businesses responded to this request.
Yeah, so they responded really well. I mean, it's a lot of our businesses are already pretty accessible, but there are some that filled out the form to show how they can be more accessible, whether it's changing the footsteps going into the door, how they place tables in the center of their store, moving rugs, making their bathrooms handicap accessible, lower sinks. But we had such a great response. I cannot stress enough how supportive and amazing
They are wonderful.
our small businesses are for everything that we do. But they have been so excited and so helpful with this initiative to help not just bring awareness to our waterfalls, but that when you come to our waterfalls, you can go downtown too and shop and eat, and everything's going to be accessible to you as it is for everyone else.
Well, and I think it's very important that anyone comes to our community and feels welcome. Anyone, regardless of barriers, regardless of race, regardless of anything. There is no reason we should not feel welcome in our community, no matter who walks through our door.
Absolutely.
And that includes our pet community, which is the fun thing to talk about here, because we both are pet lovers, animal lovers, and we have 2 pet-friendly locations. The convention center, we are pet-friendly there. Our downtown visitor shop, we are pet-friendly there. And most of our downtown businesses are very pet-friendly, and that's also unusual for a downtown.
And most of our businesses have their own dogs, like Glass Tangerine, Miss Elsa.
Yes, we have mascots that abound.
We have the West Side Dogs.
Yep.
They have their own club. Elsa has a birthday party.
She does.
So that's been a benefit as well, that you can come, on vacation, there's a lot of people that have to board their pets because they're going to a place that is not pet friendly and does not have all the benefits that we have going on here. So I think that's wonderful. And let's talk about, you say the businesses are looking at the height of their table, the width of their aisles, where their rugs are placed. And that has also benefited families with small children, because if you've ever pushed a stroller through a store, you know the struggle is real.
It is the absolute worst, yes.
And you're just like, if they get just 2 inches either way, you just can't get through. And so the fact that we are making these stores more wheelchair accessible, and they can come in, in any capacity and browse the whole circle of the store, that's helping moms too, because they're like, oh, thank you. Whoever made these aisles the appropriate width for these strollers, because you're scared to death that you're going to knock something over, and your kid's going to grab something off a shelf. There's just so many things. So the accessibility has actually expanded, and our footprint has not just been the special needs community, but families, senior adults, and pets. So this project has kind of snowballed out of control in a good way. The need was real, and the response has been beautiful, but we really didn't have any doubts.
No, not at all.
Now, Billie, we're going to bounce back to you.
Okay.
So 2026, we've done the rebrand, which was a really big deal. I know you've slept finally, and maybe you're ready for the new year to hit.
Maybe.
What are the plans for Tennessee's Upper Cumberland in 2026? I don't know how you're going to top what you just accomplished, but I know you do have some goals set.
We do, and so we're really hitting 2026 with the ground running. On the ground running, I guess? I don't know. It's going to be amazing. Our new website is almost finished, and we have put a lot of work. We is me, but it's been a lot of work and love and attention on this thing, and it's very, very in depth. So there's so many layers to it, which it took longer to develop to get it out there, but it's coming out right. So it's coming very soon for launch. We have a series that we're launching called Tennessee's Upper Cumberland Tapped In. And it's been so much fun. We're finishing up our first episode, so it should be launching in January as well. It's mountain biking. We went mountain biking on our first episode because why wouldn't you? So that's really exciting for us. And our visitor guide is completely revamped to match the new brand.
No,
that is
I'm going to stop you there. For anyone who has not seen what you call the visitor guide, it is a magazine.
It is.
So it is a full-fledged magazine. It's been around a long time. Speaking of rebrand, it used to be Stay and Play.
Yes.
So for people who are old school, it is the Stay and Play 2.0, now 4.0, maybe we're at 6.0. It is really an incredible resource, and they are flying off the shelves at the welcome centers because you keep having to take them more.
I do.
And we run out at the visitor shop in the welcome center as well. So for any businesses, this is an advertising opportunity that reach real tourists.
Yes.
And so talk about how they might want to be a part of the magazine.
Sure. We definitely have advertising opportunities in there. We have all different size ads that you can run in there, and we do featured articles. That's just reaching out. You just need to be a member, and we'll take care of it from there. But it's grown so much. Last year I had to add 8 pages. This year I had to add 8 more.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot of growth in 2 years.
That's a big compliment, though.
I'm so excited and I'm so proud of it. But yeah, it's fantastic. And like you said, it is a great resource, and it is all tying back in. The QR codes now are going to be leading back to our website. So it is going to be one cohesive unit. And I'm thrilled.
Well, it has been it's a great tool for us to be able to navigate visitors to. People obviously still love printed materials. I will argue that till the end of time when it comes to vacation.
Yes.
Now, in your regular life, people kind of streamline. They want it on their phone, this and that, and that is absolutely fine. And you have all kinds of things through these QR codes and through your website where the phone is a tool you can use. But when people are planning a vacation for whatever reason, I mean, we mailed out, what would you say?
394 last year.
394 hard copies, and we gave away every single one we had on earth within the Welcome Center itself. So they want the hard copy. They want to sit there and imagine what their vacation can look like and plan it out in slow motion using printed materials, because you had to up how many magazines you print. That's gone higher too.
Yes.
So you mentioned membership. Talk to us about, for anyone that is an individual or a business that would like to be a member of the Upper Cumberland. It is not hard to do that.
No, and it's also very inexpensive. We are a membership-based organization, but we start our membership very, very low because we want it to be very inclusive. We want to be able to promote everyone. And we are very creative in how we do that. With our small town trail, for example, we can tie in our coffee shops and our boutique shops, because when people come to visit, they want to get all of the really interesting things that you would do as a local. So that's how we can tie people in, that they're like, maybe I'm not tourist, but you are a tourist destination. And if you're not, you should be. If you own a small business, there's something really special about what you do. So in a lot of ways, we can be creative about how we can bring people into the tourism world. And it's really just reaching out and seeing what we can do and building them into itineraries, which again, that goes in the magazine, it goes into our website, and we'll work those into our series eventually. So.
I mean, and I'm not a visitor, but those itineraries have given me great ideas for how to use my free time, and I live here.
Right.
And so there's things I've learned through it that I didn't know about before. And Director of Tourism, I mean, like, this little embarrassing, Billie, that you are feeding me ideas that I didn't already know existed, but you are, and it's wonderful. It's a great tool, a great resource. And just for people who think, well, I don't feel like we're a real tourist destination. We're not the Smoky Mountains, or we're not, Nashville. But we have something very, very different. And Tessa has been a part of helping us geofence areas like the West Side and see the split between who are spending dollars within those stores and restaurants. And we were very surprised to learn that during our tourist season, which is basically the end of March until the end of October. That is our big tourism season. It was a 60-40 split, and that is 60% tourists and visitors, and that means someone who lives 50 miles or more. They sleep 50 miles or more. That is considered a visitor, and as opposed to a local, which is the 40%, which means our small businesses and restaurants would not thrive without that tourism impact. So for those of you who go, man, our restaurants are full,
busy.
you know, I wish I didn't have to wait. Be so glad that you are, because that helps that small business, that helps that restaurant, and that's what helps them be there. We need them to be there. I mean, as a local, that makes our quality of life wonderful to have these great restaurants, these great stores, this beautiful historic downtown, and all the activities and attractions. It's because 60% is being funded through sales tax dollars that are coming from visitors that do not live here. So I think that's a beautiful reminder when we have to be patient and maybe wait a little longer in a restaurant than we want to. Know that that's a good thing for that business owner.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, because we're in such a great location off the interstate that we have everything that you would need here, but we have that local small town charm. So versus going to Nashville where the traffic is much more than Cookeville, or going to Knoxville, people can come here and have all the options that we offer, plus our small downtown businesses. So that's what makes us so popular, and we need that to thrive.
Yes. And honestly, I'm a foodie. I love eating out. I think we know this. I love food. And I've eaten in a lot of places. We frequent Nashville, Chattanooga, Knoxville, but our restaurant scene here in the Upper Cumberland is incredible. I would pit that against just about any place I have been. And it is surprising, even to me, where I go out and I'm like, how did we get so lucky to have this restaurant in the Upper Cumberland? But it is absolutely, we have restaurants here that are worth driving to. I would drive 2 hours to eat at some of these restaurants.
And that's the thing, people do.
Yeah.
And we are thrilled for that support. Now, speaking of support, as we wrap up our first episode of 2026, whether you're listening to us by radio or by podcast, or you're seeing us here, please, we are opening up a Today in Putnam County social media page on Instagram and Facebook. Please like it, please follow us, and please share it with your friends. We would love to be able to build the community so that we can place things on there of all the things we talk about in each episode with links, and give you an in-depth kind of behind-the-scenes information on all things tourism, all things Putnam County, all things events, and we have more to come. Thank you so much for allowing us today's time to talk with you. I look forward to having more shows. Billie, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you. It was I knew it would be fun, but of course it was so much fun always with you too.
And you are listening to Today in Putnam County, and we'll see you next week.
This has been Today in Putnam County with Shan Stout.